I think brief has already been spoken about me, so I won't waste our time in speaking more about myself. Most of the people in this room are pretty good friends. We have been practitioners all along in last 10, 15 years. So not much need to be spoken as far as our advisory practices are concerned. Let's focus more on, the subject of the day, which is alternate investing. Alternate investing in last couple of years has become really large, and I'm sure during the course of the day, a lot of speakers have already spoken about this industry, the size of this industry, and what this industry actually can turn out to be. It's still at nascent stages if you actually ask me, and each and every one of us must take maximum benefit of being a part of it. Not only from the remuneration perspective, but from the perspective of adding value to our clients. So I'll have a question to each one of you. How many of you know this gentleman? Interesting. Only 2, 3, 4, 5. Acha, 4. Chalo, sir, tell me. Who? George Soros. Very nice. Thank you. What about this guy? How many of you know him? एक भी नहीं. यार 15 साल 20 साल से इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोफेशनल्स हैं हम लोग, इसको नहीं जानते. चलो कोई बात नहीं. So the man out here is George Soros, the other one is Jim Rogers. But why I'm showing you this? See, why I'm showing you this is these two people are one of the finest investment managers of their period, which is 80s and 90s. I believe most of the people sitting in this room are mutual fund professionals for last 10, 15, 20 years. Or maybe insurance consultant advisors or deposit distributors, I should say. These two gentlemen were investment professionals. Jim Rogers was one of the best trader that we have seen in last 40 years. And this gentleman was one of the best investment professionals that we have seen. But if we compare them today, it is completely reversed. George Soros is an investor today, a hedge fund manager. And Jim Rogers is a trader today. So I'm just trying to speak about the transformation. समय बदला, लोग बदले. I think अब आपको भी बदलने का समय आ गया. हम phenomenal investors, consultants थे, म्यूचुअल फंड बेचे, 5,000 रुपए की SIP से 5 लाख की SIP तक के सपने बेच गए, लोगों ने पैसे भी बनाए. Each and every one of you will have stories where 5,000 रुपए का SIP turned out to be 1 crore in someone's life. So that change has happened. अब वो 1 crore वाला इन्वेस्टर PMS EIF मांगेगा. अगर आप नहीं दोगे, तो आपके बाजू वाला देगा. आपके बाजू वाला नहीं देगा, तो कोई प्राइवेट बैंकर देगा. और अगर प्राइवेट बैंकर नहीं दिया, तो मैं दे देगा. तो आपके क्लाइंट्स खरीद रहे हैं. आपको समझने की जरूरत है इसको. It is very, very important. So basically, the idea of bringing these gentlemen is to show you that best of the brains have done it. We too have to do the same thing. Now, why alternates are growing? You know, growth of any country happens post $2,000 per capita income. Whether you go to China, Europe, UK, India has crossed 2,000 per capita income, specifically on a wealth effect side, in last 2 years. And I'm sure most of you will agree with me that the wealth effect has actually happened in last 5 years. The amount of investment commitment that we get in last 5 years is a sea change. I mean, how many of you have heard that, you know, an average investor committing 20, 30, 40, 50 crores to equities before 5 years? But I think this is very normal now. 50 crore investment or a 5 crore investment is a very normal thing happening today. And it is happening because of this one factor. From saving to wealth creation, which was a decade back, today it is from wealth to legacy. I'll just spend 2 minutes here to tell you that when we used to be selling mutual funds 10 years, 15 years back, most of our investors had only one thing in mind. मेरे retirement का क्या होगा, मेरे बच्चों की पढ़ाई का क्या होगा, उनकी शादी का क्या होगा. Saving was the only goal that they had in mind. Today, majority of the investors don't have saving as the only goal in their mind. It is the legacy effect which is playing in. It is the accumulation which is playing in. They have accumulated. The amount of SIPs or the amount of small investments that we did 20 years back have played its role. Today, the corpuses are large. Someone who had done an SIP of 10, 15,000 rupees with you 20 years back, or maybe an investment of 1 lakh or a 2 lakh rupees 20 years back is a phenomenal amount of money. And they're sitting on it and looking for other options. That is where the alternate has come. This is a brief cheat sheet of AIFs. I think during the course of the day, most of people must have spoken to you what categories of things and what it is all about. I will not get much into it. Size of the industry is this. And many more zeros are actually going to get added in next 10 years' time. Believe me when I'm saying you this. Specifically the PMS side. You know, from 2013, it was a 10,000 crore PMS book. Today, each manager manages more than 10,000 crore. So, coming back to the most important part, that how should we sell it to our clients, or why should we sell it to clients? The simple reason I'll tell you why you should sell it to your client is from the diversification perspective. No other product is actually going to add that to you. Mutual fund is a commoditized product. It is not that we will stop selling it. Of course we'll sell it. It will add value to our customers, but it is a commoditized one. An investor investing 5,000 rupees or an investor investing 5 crore rupees, both will have the same experience, even though their risk reward are not similar. PMS will bring differentiation there. An alternate investment fund will bring a differential there. They start at 50 lakh to 1 crore rupees. Customization can be done. Modeling can be done. Returns, if you see, I don't know about 2 years, but if you see 5-year returns of most of the PMSs and AIF, it is a happy experience. We can discuss some of the fund or kind of experience that they have generated, maybe in details later on, but that is the whole phenomena. But who are the target audience? It cannot be sold to everyone. You know, someone who's got an investment corpus of maybe 2 crore, 3 crore. I don't think these products are for them. A PMS or AIF must be sold to an investor who has an investable corpus of more than 5 crore. Only then you should choose him. Only then you will be able to add value to him. Only then he will be able to take the kind of a volatility which these products bring on the table. Else it will not happen. And the wealth effect, I can tell you, 10 years back, we did an PMS with a very small fund house. The fund house was managing, I don't think, more than 2,000 crore rupees at that point of time. In 10 years period, give me a guess what kind of a return the investor should have had. I think in 10 years, the Nifty returns are in excess of 20%. So what should have been the return of an investor? Any guess? 23, 24. The returns are in excess of 50%. Of course, the risk was there. But look at the experience after the 10 years. Some of these things will get repeated. We have to be cognizant that whom we are choosing it, whom we are giving that money to. I can share some of the points in the basis of which we select PMSs. And the PMSs, or maybe fund managers. So we don't sell everyone. That's the first phenomena. We do it only with boutique firms. And I can give you a reason why we do it with boutique firms. And most of you will be able to resonate to that. You see, a large fund house will have private bankers, banks, national distributors distributing them. But a small fund house will be like us only, a small in size, a small in reach. And they will value each other. You cannot reach out to a Ramdev Agarwal at the end of the day. But you can reach out to a Ravi Dharamshi at the end of the day if the market goes anywhere to give comfort to your client, which is very, very important. Nothing wrong with Motilal in that way, but you have to understand what value addition you can do to your client. So to me, the value addition is the access that I create for my clients. And that access opens their wallet for me. And the ones that we select are so small in size that the large distribution houses are not going to adopt them. They will not fit into their filtering processes. It is not that they are bad. It is not that they don't have processes. It is not that they don't have team, and it is not that they are not generating returns. They have each and everything of them, but they are small in size. And they are purposely small in size because they don't want to grow beyond a point. It is very difficult to generate returns in excess, above average returns in this market beyond a point. You talk about Unify, you talk about A2A Capital, or ValueQuest, or Karma, anyone of the world. See their performances with the larger ones. The difference that they bring on the table is purely on the size. What else can I share with you from my practice? Is that when you will sell PMSs, you need to know about stocks. It is very important. So when you decide to sell, the first thing which you have to sit and do is that you have to get very, very clear with stocks, because clients will talk about stocks. You have to sell stock as a story. Today in mutual funds, what we do? We sell return as a story. That is not going to work. You have to talk about a Bajaj Finance, you have to talk about a Reliance, you have to talk about an HDFC Bank. The good that it will bring to you is that it will bring a transformation in you also. That you will become a better analyzer of stocks. You will know better about Indian economy. You will know better about the companies because you will be spending a lot of time doing that. Some of the fact sheets of the PMSs will have 10, 20, 30 stocks. You, on an average, need to know most of them, which is not required today when we are selling mutual funds. Because clients will not go so deeper, okay, boss, you have got 1% allocation to an Aban offshore, what is happening to it? Doesn't matter. But when you have a 20 stocks, each stocks will have an on average 5% allocation. If he doesn't ask, at least you need to know. Because if the stock falls 20%, like a day like this, when Infosys has fallen 10%, the client who has got a portfolio and has an investments in excess of 10%, 5%, whatever it is, he may give you a call and ask, boss, क्या हुआ? Result आया था, खराब हो गया, क्या हुआ, नहीं हुआ? Stock side पे आपको बहुत prepare होना पड़ेगा before you start selling a PMS. Fund manager अपना काम करेगा. Most important thing, which I think advisory community is not doing, and which must be done, is that you form your own opinion. Don't go by what your manager has said you. It doesn't matter whether he is right or he is wrong. It is okay. It is your client. You have to take the onus of good as well as bad performance. So form an opinion. You can hear to 4 managers. Make your view, share it with your client and tell him, boss, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है. Right भी हो सकता है, wrong भी हो सकता है. क्या guarantee है manager जो बोल गया वो right होगा? History is on our side. By doing that, you become better. You have started analyzing. You have started thinking which side market is going, which side market is not going to go, which are the factors affecting it. Some of these key points, and one more suggestion which I can put on board is that when you form an opinion, start writing that opinion to your clients. Today, most of the advisors that I see doing is a forward of WhatsApp received from the different asset managers or different asset manager companies. How many of you have actually read it yourself before forwarding it to your clients? Just think about it. You have forwarded a note to a client and client calls up and said, boss, तेरे को क्यों लगता है 4% IIP होगा, 5% क्यों नहीं होगा? अरे आपको तो पता ही नहीं उसमें IIP लिखा था कि नहीं लिखा था, बस अब तो पढ़े ही नहीं हो, आपने भेज दिया. How bad a situation is. So don't send too many stuff. Read it, send it. It's a very easy thing. And the good thing is you will improvise. Believe me when I'm doing it, because we have also done some of these practices and have changed it. We sounded anything. We only send our notes to the clients. So when we meet any manager, we make it a point that we make minutes of that meeting and share it to our clients. That this was the takeaway. And this is what we feel. This is our view. And we will make decisions on the basis of this view only, whether it go wrong. If it goes wrong, I am responsible for it. And if it goes right, I am responsible for it. So it's very, very important. I mean, some of these things will be required a lot while you'll be selling alternates, because alternates will have a lot of deeper facts in comparison to mutual fund, because mutual fund is more a product-oriented thing where I think clients will not question beyond a point कि भाई excess का return कम क्यों है और HDFC का ज़्यादा क्यों आ गया, as long as total return पे play हो गया है. PMSS में वो नहीं होगा. जो perform नहीं किया उसके लिए मारा जाएगा, जो perform किया उसके लिए बधाई भी मिलेगी. So a deeper work has to be done. Fund manager selection has to happen. You have to spend a lot of time understanding a manager, why you are giving money to this manager. See, in mutual fund also a lot of people do it, that why I should give money to this manager or why I should not be giving money to this manager. But it is far, far important when alternates will be at play. Because that one manager is going to make a lot of difference into the ecosystem. So it is very important, I think. And one more point which I wanted to share with you is that categorization, SEBI regulations, everything is at play as far as mutual funds are concerned. It is for good side of it because that is a mass market product. But the biggest problem which it has created for industry is that manager is not going to take risk beyond a point. He will rule somewhere around the benchmark. You tell me which fund has given you 500, 600, 700 basis point over and above your benchmark in last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Any fund you tell me, even small caps, if you can tell me. 500 basis point का आउट परफॉर्मेंस किसने किया? कोई एक फंड निकलेगा निपॉन मे बी लास्ट ईयर में, बिकॉज उससे पहले बहुत ठुकाई हुई थी उसकी, बट लार्जर वे में नहीं मिलेगा. It is not the manager who is responsible for it. It is our ecosystem which is responsible for it. He cannot do it. None of those things are going to be stopping these managers to take that risk. So when I say 30% return are going to come, or 20% returns are going to come, if the risk and the stock selection is correct, the returns are going to be above average. And if it is not, the other way also. So your filtering system has to be very, very strong in identifying where things have gone wrong and where things are right. So I think these are some of the key points which you should keep in mind while selling it. And ultimately, my suggestion is कि भाई माल तो बेचना पड़ेगा. आप नहीं बेचेंगे तो लोग रेडी खड़े हैं. और अब तो डायरेक्ट भी है. PMS भी डायरेक्ट बिकते हैं. So thank you very much. I'll be happy if you'll have any questions.
Thank you so much, Vikas. Very simple, sweet, and nicely presented. तो कितने लोग motivated हुए हैं? Motivated तो हो गए. Next level भी चाहिए. I think we should have a online 1-hour detailed session if he agrees. So, yes, I am sure.
It is this community which motivated me, to be doing it. It is not that, I started doing alternates. To be very honest with each one of you, I started doing alternate in 2019. So it's not that very far. From 12 to 19, it was mutual fund. I'm still continuing to do mutual funds. Sorry, yeah.
A question.
Tell me. Yes. No, I don't have any problem with anybody for that matter. See, Ambit is very good in small way. Unify is very good. Karma Capital is very good. ValueQuest is very good. But someone who is good to me may not be good to you. He has to filter in my good things. See, I am an aggressive investor. I look for ideas which are very small in nature, which can become very large. So I look for opportunities where 30, 40, 50% kind of returns be made. But that may not be the case with you. Yeah, 100%. So that is one rule. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. The first rule that I have in my life is that anyone that I choose to, the first check has to go from my family. Else I'll not do it. That has to happen. So we have skin in the game that way. So it is very, very important.
Thank you, Vikas.